Welcome to Five Dive. This is the 5-minute deep dive and a startup tactics with the experts. Today we have John Boccuzzi Jr. He is a consultant over at the Big Willow based in Connecticut. And you just had your recent TEDx talk. I was seduced by exceptional customer service. John, it's a pleasure to have you.
Great. Thank you so much for having me today.
Awesome. Well, how about we kick things off by you giving yourself a little bit of an intro?
Sure. So I've been in the sales and marketing realm for the last 25 years, some of that in technology, and then a chunk of that in franchising with edible arrangements, where I most recently was. So running customer care and then customer experience. And in the last decade, especially with the piece with edible arrangements, that's where my passion around this idea of customer experience can truly be a differentiator as a marketing opportunity for organizations to compete against some of the bigger players that are digital.
Awesome. Welcome. I'm happy to have you on that angle of customer experience. The first question I wanted to ask you is, what effect can company culture have on customer service?
Yeah, it's a great question. And a lot of times businesses are siloed with regards to, company culture is aligned with human resources. And then you've got your customer experience aligned with operations and sales and marketing. And really, if you've got some challenges in the human resource area and company culture, that can absolutely have an impact with regards to how consumers perceive your brand or how their experiences are in your brand. So an example might be is if there's a layoff or if salaries aren't competitive and you've got turnover, then your consumers are going to see that and feel that experience with regards to constantly seeing new employees or not having people with the depth of experience that they were used to, et cetera. On the reverse side of that is if you've got exceptional customer and employee engagement, there is a tremendous opportunity to have a positive impact on customer experience. So you bring that loyalty to the business. And if you look at some of the examples out there, Trader Joe's is a great one. Costco is another one. I mean, you go into those brands and in a retail environment, and you'll meet employees there that have been there 5, 7, 10, 12, 15 years in the same location. And it's because they built that employee culture that truly impacts the customer experience. So it can play both sides.
Wow, that's fantastic. So what would you say, what are some common things that you see among companies that are doing well in terms of customer experience?
Yeah, and it's both customer experience in both the big players as well as the smaller players, the regional players. So, obviously customer experience with Amazon is pretty powerful. I mean,
Right.
You've got your device and you want to contact their support and they ask if you want them to call you back now or in 10 minutes. They're tremendous. Costco, their return policy is incredible, and their quality of their private label brand is amazing. So these are people that are truly focused and very passionate about the customer experience. And then on the smaller side, and where I talk about it in my TED Talk, you've got brands like Zingerman's out in Michigan. That's a deli, and really there's lots of delis, but their deli is growing significantly, and now it's got a coffee shop and a bake shop, and there's a line out the door. Or Wasix Cheese Shop in Massachusetts, like I talked about in the TED Talk. And the reason why they're doing so well is the customer experience. You go in there and there's literally a line out the door for a cheesemonger to get you cheddar cheese from Wisconsin. When maybe that'd be available at a local grocery store, but people love that experience of going to Wasix. So those are the experiences. And of course, my glasses, with my friend Ruth at 1010 Optics in New York City. So, and they're competing against people like Warby Parker, where, they're selling glasses online for $79. And 1010 Optics, Ruth is certainly not selling them for $79. But the experience is what people go back for. So there's lots of success stories out there, and I find them every week. I've seen some of these from the inside out, and what they're doing is they're training their teams to understand the value around a customer, and the cost of actually acquiring a new customer is so much more.
Right.
There's a sign company that I'm going in to consult with, and they're not retail, but they deal B2B. And, one of their challenges, they want to make sure that their employees know that, they want to solve a customer challenge with one call resolution. And that's something we can all learn something from. So, that's what I see in the technology space. How do I engage? And it's not all about AI. Artificial intelligence isn't going to solve the customer experience component. The last thing we all want to hear on a phone is press 1 for.
Right on. John, I really appreciate you coming on Five Dive today.
All right, great. Thanks so much for your time, Ellis. We'll talk to you soon.